A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your life. And if you're not, then it's time to get up and do the dance of happiness and gratitude. Now, this channeling that I'm doing right now, the energy update is for a person who has gone through a lot in life. Now, this is a collective reading also. So it may resonate with more than one person, with a lot of people at the same time. And obviously, people who are on spiritual ascension, they may not be 7.5 billion people on the planet, but they are also there. At least, as much as I know, there could be 1.5 million who are in deep hardcore ascension right now. And few more, say 1% of 1 billion. 7 billion. At least 7 million people should be in the process of ascension. So they could be awakening or they could have awakened. Yes, if you look at the whole earth population, then there are not so many. But you must always remember that the power of ascended people and awakened people is a lot more than people who are asleep and, not doing much. Because they are going to awaken the rest and they are going to make earth a better place. And they are going to be the ones who will take this time ahead, like the ascension process ahead. So they don't have to be so many in number. They have to be few only. And they can do a lot for the Earth's overall in total ecosystem as they work on their own ecosystems. So this is for someone who has struggled a lot in life. And since childhood, they have been very responsible. They have taken care of a lot of people. When I say gone through a lot in life, it's not like little bit of struggle or little bit of challenges. They've always faced difficult situations. This person that I'm channeling for, this person has always, since childhood, one of those kids you have seen who are spending time alone. People don't like them, friends don't like them, people don't want to include them in their conversations, people don't want to make friends with them. In classroom also, they are all by themselves, doing their own thing. Sometimes they feel bad about it when they look at other people hanging out in groups. They feel, why don't they want to hang out with me? Like, is there something wrong with me? But because they are happy, they were always, technically, these type of people are always very happy and independent. That's why the others cannot resonate with them or relate with them. It's not really something bad. Actually, it's a very exceptional thing to have. But because of the programming, because the world tells you, oh, nobody likes you, don't have so many friends, you must be a bad person. On the contrary, the child who's the enabled narcissist, they'll have lots of friends. They'll have, so many people to talk to. They'll do this, 100 other things they'll do. And people would think, oh, this is the best student or, the best child, has so many friends, always being invited for birthday parties. They have so many invitations for birthday parties. They're so likable. This kid is not like that. This person as a child was not like that. Okay. So they had many lacunas, many lacunas inside them, which they never really complained about also. I can feel a lot of pain. There's a lot of silent pain. There's a lot of hidden pain. But they never actually looked into that part because they didn't want to bother about it. They are so present. It's not like everything you have to learn from earth. Certain things are your karmic valuables that you have with you. The result of who you are, the spiritual person that you are, some qualities are in you innately. They are within you. You are a person who's born with so many gifts. Why are you born with so many gifts? Even coming to the earth, which is a lower dimension, so many of your gifts cannot be stolen away or taken away. Some of them will be. I'm sure the demonic agents will try because they don't want, you to do the things right away. As soon as you're sent to earth, they will try to stop you. And to be fair, To be fair with them, you will also say, okay, fine, I won't remember much of it. I won't remember anything. I won't have the memory just like all the people on earth. It's okay. You take away whatever you want to, but because I have my masters, because I have spirit guides, because I have the power of God, I will eventually, sooner or later, the time will come, the right time will come, the right divine timing will come. When they come to the lower dimension to match with the frequency of, the earth's dimension, they choose templates. In those templates, they perform certain sins or they are part of certain sins because of which they gather karma. And then they have to repay this karma. So everybody has a certain age limit or a time limit after the time has appeared, as in the time of the pain, the suffering is over. Say you perform a sin and 10 years is the punishment for it. For 10 years you will suffer because of that sin. Okay, but after 10 years you can't because you've overcome that. And you've taken punishment gladly, happily. So you won't care. Once you are free from your burdens and your karmic baggages, karmic entanglements, that's why karmics are sent to your life. There's a spiritual reason behind it. There's no romantic reason behind it. The attraction may be romantic. So people think that only the masculines or the runners are given karmics. No. Maybe the chaser already had karmics. They already, before meeting the specific person they are after, they already had karmic experiences. Now they don't want to. So the most difficult person will eventually be sent to them. Like a false twin will be sent to them, which will look absolutely like like true love, and everything will be so nice, and it will not work out. Then the twin flame will be sent. Again, it will look like, perfect person has been given to you, and there will be so much fascination. Like I see online, people are just so fascinated by the word twin flame, the label twin flame. They don't understand that twin flame is an energy. They get so like, that's my twin cannot do this to me, my twin can never hurt me, and the twin is hurting them every day. No, my twin flame can't do this to me, impossible. So you need to be practical. This journey is not just about, emotions and crying and sobbing and, oh my God, this is love, and that's not love. One needs to understand what love is by experience, not by reading in some novel or some, a movie, which is actually explaining lust to you but telling you that it's love. They tell you that this lustful activity is love, and you have to believe it. You believe it eventually. True love is the most beautiful thing that can happen to anyone. So this person who I'm channeling for, this person suffered in childhood, they suffered, but they never took this suffering seriously, and they always kept moving on. And while doing so, they were always questioning. They were not taking it on face value. Like, yeah, people don't talk to me, they don't like me, nobody is hanging out with me in school, nobody wants to sit next to me, nobody wants to be my BFF, like nobody wants to have best friend forever goals with me. What's wrong with me? They're not going to think like that. They'll keep themselves busy. And they will have so many responsibilities even at a tender age. That's what I'm also being given, and that's also the reality of what so many people are experiencing. At a tender age, they'll do everything. Right from cooking meals, right from cleaning the house. These are basic chores that an adult can do, right? But these children would be very good in it. Looking after children. The other day I was cycling and I saw a group of laborers, street laborers. Not street laborers, the people are street people. They live on the streets. Or you can say they have these makeshift houses right next to wherever the construction site is. So they are busy working, the laborers, the daily wage laborers, they are busy working. I think if we really want to do something for anyone, then these are the people we should do for, because they are busy working throughout the day and their children are toiling in the, around the construction sites and in the sun or in all these weather conditions. They don't go to school, they don't do anything. Not going to school is also a good thing, and they're very independent, also a good thing. But still, somebody has to love them. Somebody has to show to them that, I care for you. I'm there for you. So I was just looking at those kids. I was just cycling. It's not like I can also stop at every place because, I have so much work to do. I have a very busy day. in which especially want to take out time for my exercise and for stepping out. At least once in a day, you should step out. Everyone should. Because if you don't step out in the nature, especially in the morning or in the evening hours, you'll have a very dull emotion throughout the day. Staying within is very good, but that within and outside is not different, right? It's not any different from inside and outside is the same. When you go out, you connect with the plants, you connect with the trees, you connect with the clouds, the sky. You don't have to necessarily connect with all the negativity. You can connect with the love and the compassion and the beauty around you. So I saw this little girl. She must have been just 7-8 years old, okay? She's a very small girl. And she was carrying her baby brother, like on her waist. Like when you carry the baby and then hold it. And she had a bag of something. And she was just carrying it and walking. She was lost in her own world. She had responsibility to take care of a little child who's probably 6-7 months old, because the mother cannot take care of the child. The mother has to work throughout the day. They have, the hours are fixed and they work so hard, but all they can manage is food and maybe some shelter and survival, So the parents are busy working. It's not an easy life. Who's going to take care of the children? And they have so many children. I don't understand why these people have so many babies. They can't take care of the one child. They can't feed the one child. They can't feed themselves. And they have like 5-7 children or 3-4 kids in a train, one after the other, the compartments. So this little girl was probably taking care of her baby brother or baby sister. And I was like, wow, look at the responsibility she has on her shoulders at this age. There are some very intelligent people also. They may not be very rich. Like there's a woman, she's basically a gardener. She works for the government and she has sort of a job and she earns not more than a certain amount of money. And I think she's pretty much more positive than other people. Her husband is handicapped. He doesn't have legs. So he sits on that bike sort of a thing, which you can sort of move with your own hands. They both have one daughter. And she keeps the daughter next to her all the time. Every time she goes to work, the daughter is with her. And the husband, like 3 of them are always together. The husband is, despite his physical condition, he's more like a protector of these 2 women. They have only one child, and she was telling me, I can't have so many children because I can't take care of so many. I can only take care of one. So I could see that even though they were not very rich, but they had somehow managed in their small little world so many things. And the girl is very cute. The daughter is very cute. Every time she sees me, she runs and she hugs me in the most cute way. So she's very cultured and very intelligent. The father really loves the daughter a lot. I've seen him taking care of her. So, so she's already attracting good people in her life at such a small age. And they live right next to my kitchen garden. So, and they know gardening and they know a little bit of things. So I keep on talking to them every now and then. And every time I go to meet them, I meet the girl. And I'm happy to see that some people don't have so many resources, but they are still much more intelligent than others. So she's one alone child and she likes to play with the other kids who are probably in hordes, I think. So coming back to the person that I'm talking about, you can sense a similar energy from that child. The adult now, I'm sure, because you are all listening to this channeling, it has to be some of you or one of you or whosoever, the whole group, the whole collective, whosoever it's directed for. And it's also an energy upgrade because you need to upgrade every time your operating system. That's why you need to listen to these channelings. And I'm not doing romantic channelings and predictions all the time. That's the blessing of God. It's not always about romance. We are here to upgrade you about love, about unconditional love and true love. That's what the spirit guides, the masters, the council of elders, the watchers, the benevolent watchers want you to do. They want you to learn about love, not about romance. Because if you learn about romance more and more, you can. Through law of attraction, anything is possible, trust me. But if you learn only about romance, then you'll fall very low into the frequency that the reptilian extraterrestrials have created. They have also created a beautiful world It's not like they have not, but it's very heavy, it's very dense, it's absolutely different from what the lighter reality is, what the higher dimension is, what the ascension world is all about. And people who get into their world, they also get sucked into it. It's not so easy to get out of it, and they also learn. Egotistical people also learn a lot of tricks, a lot of things that obviously stay with them, okay? But actually the devil always tricks people. They don't know that. Sometimes I do feel bad about them also, because by the time they get tricked, it's too late. So now this child, again I'll go back to the child because I'm being shown the child more than the adult. So this child learned to take care of itself. The child became its own mother. The child became its own father. They did not even cry. They didn't even cry properly. In my therapy also, when people join my therapy, because therapies are very long, they are not like 1 session or 2 sessions. Therapies go on for a couple of months, and some people are long-term students and clients. They stay with me for a year, 2 years also. And there are many times when they cry. I have to make them cry. And sometimes it takes 3 to 4 sessions to actually reach to the problem, to where they are stuck, why they have not cried, why they have not released the emotion, because they themselves don't know. As a child, they did not know the pain, where is it coming from, where the suffering is coming from. So it got blocked inside of them. In different chakras, different problems got blocked. And sometimes I have to scold them. Then they start crying. I have to tell them, what's the matter? Why are you acting like this? And after crying and after releasing their emotions, they tell me that I'm so happy you scolded me, because no one has ever scolded me for my good. People have scolded me for, things that I have to do for them, to please them. They've scolded me, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? People have scolded me because they want me to live a certain type of life. People have scolded me all throughout programming to be a materialistic person. Nobody cared for me enough that they would scold me and tell me, hey, stop doing this to yourself. You don't deserve it. So, I'm always happy when they cry, when they release, because it's like, okay, finally they can take a sigh of relief, because after this, we have to look for some other things that they have blocked or stored, the trauma inside. So this child was not crying much, basically. Even when they were getting slapped or assaulted or physically or sexually abused. Some of them got sexually abused, some of them got physically assaulted, some of them got bullied majorly, some of them were always asked to do chores for other people, never for themselves. Some of them were given too many responsibilities. Like from morning to evening, they were kept busy doing things for others. So they could never really do anything for themselves. And then because of that, because they're obviously been taken care by the narcissistic adults, and narcissists don't always appear to be arrogant and mean and horrible. Some of them are covert narcissists. So they'll cry a lot in front of you. They'll do a lot of drama in front of you. They will do so much emotional atyachar, as I say. We have a song, I think, in Hindi, which is called emotional atyachar. Atyachar basically means torture. So emotional blackmail or emotional torture, basically. They do it. The adults do it. They keep crying. Always crying in front of the child. The moment child has to just say that mother or father, I'm not able to do this, I'm having so much trouble, they'll start crying before the child can even complete or even share the woes or the pain. They'll be like, oh, I'm such a bad mother, I can't even do this for you. Oh, I'm such a bad father, I can't even provide for you. Oh God, dear God, what should I do? I can't. So instead of solving the problem and taking responsibility and giving motivation to the child, like, hey, don't worry, we'll find a solution. We have faith in God. Let's pray together, or let's do this together, or let's see, what we can do in this situation. I'm sure there has to be a way. See, only positive people, optimistic people, and people who are full of faith, they can find solutions. They'll get the ideas. A person who's not in those energies, even if they're sitting on the treasure, they can't find anything. They'll still think I'm poor. They are like the beggars who are sitting on the beach of gold. So, now this child has to go through all of this emotional atyachar by other people. so many people, and sometimes it's like they come across the grandiose narcissist, sometimes so different type of people, and then they have this empathetic nature. So they also have to, to survive in this competitive world of narcissists, full of narcissists everywhere. They have to survive, so they also bring on to some narcissistic qualities within them. And that's where they start, the real struggle or the real suffering starts, because the empath is telling them, don't do this, it's not good for you, you need love, you need this, you need that, and they'll be like, oh, come on, let me take some drinks, like everybody's drinking, they look happy, maybe I'll also be happy. And during that time, they'll make some mistakes and then they'll regret it even more. Actually, everybody, whether they get into lustful relationships, whether they get into addictions, whether they get into, just making money all the time, whether they become sort of an overachiever, just because they want the adults around them to be like, wow. So maybe the mother said, clean the house by the time I come and make your siblings do all the homework. They want to be an overachiever because they feel if I do extra work, my mother will love me more or my father will like me even more. So they'll not only clean the house, they'll take care of the siblings, and then they'll cook the evening meal also, so that when mother is there or father is there, food is also ready. They'll prepare the snacks, they'll prepare the tea. At such a small age, they are doing all these things. Why? Because they want to be loved. They want to be appreciated. Just one single word of appreciation. I can actually sense some of you will cry throughout this channeling. Because this is the pain, this is the irony of the situation. This channeling is really, I hope it turns out to be, it reaches more and more people. Or it reaches people at the right divine timing, whenever they need it the most. So many duties and responsibilities. I've just given you some examples. If you resonate with the situation, you can mention in the comment section also, whatever you've gone through. But they never took it personally. They never took it like negatively. Although, yes, they did learn to internalize messages of self-sabotage. They would not love themselves enough. They would do things, they will go to a lot of people and a lot of places. Some of them would have lots of relationships. Nothing works out. Every relationship ends. Or if it ends, if it doesn't end and it's a long-term relationship, it will always be an on and off relationship. Very annoying type of a relationship. One day it's very nice. The other day it's horrible. One day, oh, so much love, my lovey-dovey, my kuchiku, my this, my that. And the next day, who are you? Go away. So these type of selfish relationships they would be into. And they, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, one relationship to another, to another, to another. If not long relationships, then flings. Sometimes the enabled narcissist also, I'll put them into this channeling little bit, because they'll probably have a different type of journey, but the core is the same. The enabled narcissists usually attract these type of partners because they are the ones who got the pampering, the extra love. So they just want to use someone all the time. So anybody who wants to get used by them. So the relationships of the enabled narcissist are also not long term. They have a lot of one night stands, they have lots of flings, but the end is sad for them also, because they also didn't get the true love they wanted actually. They're just getting the love where the parents are like over pampering them, giving them too many things, too many toys, too much money, too much vacations, too much of everything. Here, take this, take this, take this. And then what? Nothing. Later on, when they go out in life, then they realize that nobody actually wants to be with me, or I've not really found anyone. These narcissistic people usually end up finding someone who's going to be their slave. And that's when they get married, or that's when they get engaged, or that's when they want to commit to someone. When they feel that, yeah, this person is going to take care of me. They want to be taken care of. So the person I'm channeling for has taken care of a lot of people. Eventually they reach a point where they cannot. Maybe to survive in the materialistic world, they may have also been very cutthroat at one time. They may have also used a couple of people. They may have also had those meaningless relationships which has some kind of barter deal. But they did not know any better because they had to take care of other people. They had to do so many things just to provide. They were providers, they were nurturers since a young age. So that's why I'm saying maybe everybody will not resonate with this channeling. It's okay. No problem. But then there comes a time in their life where they are literally going back to being that child who was always questioning, why nobody is hanging out with me? Why nobody likes to talk to me? Why nobody treats me like their own? What is wrong with me? Am I not lovable? Am I not likable? Have I done something wrong? Am I a criminal? Why are they punishing me? And even after doing so much, they never appreciate me. They never say thank you to me. If I fight for my own rights, if I go back to them and I say, hey, I've done all this for you, show me some respect, then they tell me that you're the type of person who keeps on putting it on our face that you have done this, you have done that for us. So it's like a bigger shock. Like all my life, you'd say, all my life I was quiet, I didn't expect anything. Now that I'm changing, now that I'm ascending, now that I'm going further, I am again questioning like the child. I'm becoming that little child again who used to question. I want to know what is the problem. But I think you guys can't give me the answers because you yourself are suffering. You yourself are miserable. All of you people on this planet, so many of you, those around me, what will you help me? You need help yourself. You can't help me. So they release those people. They forgive those people and they themselves walk out of the jail that they were in. The jail of emotions. That little child who was looking for mommy's love and daddy's hugs. That little child who was looking for someone selfless to take care of them. Someone who would just really see them as a child and not as a servant or a slave of them. Personal servant or slave. In my own years of inner work, because I watch a lot of documentaries, I do a lot of research, I love doing research work. Sometimes I realize, and I'm thinking that a lot of you will also realize that some of the people, the parents, the adults are not so bad. The problem with them is that they're part of this selfish narcissistic world, This selfish narcissistic world has also trained them to be this way. To be this selfish, to be this dumb, to be so absent, to be worrying about the past. Why do the covert narcissists keep crying and they keep, saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm such a bad person, I'm such a horrible person, this is how I am, what to do, there's a problem with me, oh no, you're right. What do you tell to these people when they start crying? And every time you go up to them and you tell them that you've made me so upset and I'm crying and I'm sad, they'll also start sitting and crying with you. What do you do at that point in time? You can't do much because they are also product of the programming that has been going on in this planet for centuries now. So when I do research work, I come across a lot of these documentaries and movies and videos and like really good content where people have shared their story with the world and they have gone through extreme abuse. Usually I share this with people who are working with me in therapy, but I feel like telling all of you, it's a slow documentary, but it's slow because, towards the end you realize why it is very slow. It's not easy for anyone to speak about these things. It's about twins and Alice and Marcus Lewis, two twins. They share their ordeal, their pain, what they went through in childhood at the hands of their own parents. Basically their mother, not her, his. I'm changing the gender by mistake. So their mother was a pedophile, their own mother, biological mother. For more, you have to watch the documentary on Netflix to see what all she did to them. She was literally an evil woman, you can say, an most evil person. A mother can't be like this, you'd think. And the father didn't abuse them ever. He probably wasn't a pedophile, but he knew everything, you could say. He knew everything. And she was not just abusing them sexually, but she was also passing them around to her friends. And she treated them like animals because they had to live in the shed in the garden. She never treated them like their sons, but to the world she would actually pretend like she's their mother, and to the school people or everywhere. It's only when one of them goes through an accident, a motorcycle accident, and loses all the memory. So he doesn't remember anything, that he was abused or anything. It's the other brother, the guy, like they're twins, so they are born together. He doesn't remember anything. He only remembers the brother. So the brother fabricates and cooks up a story and tells him about a life that actually never happened, never existed, which was minus all the abuse. So you must watch it. And when you look at these type of horrible, horrendous, evil, demonic parents, women, men, you feel like, you know what, if they can forgive, I totally should forgive. Because if I did not live this type of life, whichever life I chose, there is a reason why I chose this template. When you forgive, you start seeing the good qualities also. You start seeing the good things that happen to you. And the eventual thing that happens to you is ascension. Is your finding out what true love is, what unconditional love is, and practically experiencing it, which is actually the most beautiful thing that can happen to you on this planet while you're living. And it's very important you do it while you're alive. Because what you have here in this planet, in this dimension, that's what is carried forward in your eternal life. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it's very beautifully written. जिसे तुम मृत्यु समझते हो, वही तो जीवन है. Which means what you call death is actually life. And this also people practically experience during the dark night of the soul phases. Whenever you go through dark nights and it ends, you realize that you're a new person. You thought you're going to die. You thought you're not going to make it from this pain. You thought you were so badly betrayed, so badly mocked and criticized and left out and ostracized. You were literally discarded by so many people. And eventually, you can't grow till the time you don't heal your childhood. As simple as that. People can give you 100 things, but this is the only fact. When you start healing your life, your childhood, everything, you will be discarded again. But you have to get discarded for one final time as well. Because that's where the lesson, because after that, another dark night will come. Now, I cannot give you everything right away. Because everybody has chosen for this journey to happen differently. It's not a linear journey. Let me tell you, even the stages of the twin flame journey are not typically linear. There's a different science that involves, right from recognition to union. And there's so many cycles of recognition to union, recognition to union, recognition. That's why you attract the karmics. That's why you attract the false twin. That's why you attract the twin flame. That's why you eventually attract your soulmates, your actual soulmates. So there is a proper way that you do step-by-step understanding in this journey. And only those people can tell you who have actually discovered it, not those who are still struggling and waiting. I see so many people who are teaching about twin flame ascension journey, and they themselves are in the waiting journey. They are themselves in the waiting energies, and nothing wrong with what they're doing. Everybody is doing their bit. Everybody is doing their bit. Nothing wrong in whatever they are doing. I mean, power to them, and I hope they find their way, and a lot of love and compassion to them, because I'm sure they're suffering too. Waiting is not easy. But while they're waiting, so many others who follow them also continue to wait and not step out of their situations. I'm going to tell you, don't wait for anyone. Trust me. As soon as you apply this in your life, you'll be like a much changed person. Especially those people who don't want to be with you. Especially those people who are running away from you. Especially those people who don't respect you. Don't wait for them. Why you want to wait for someone who doesn't? And then somebody's like, oh, you can't betray your twin flame. Oh, come on, grow up. How can you betray people, like not betray or betray those people who are not even with you? Mentally, emotionally, physically, be practical and be logical. Somebody wants to go away, let them go away. Nothing wrong in that, because they are voluntarily going away from you. How can you be blamed for that by God if they themselves are going away from you? So instead of waiting on people and then doing rebounds and then again, just trying to somehow save yourself from the pain and then falling into the arms of all the wrong people, just work on yourself. Just do what you love. Just try to be. Just be. Just be like the sun and the moon, like the air, the clouds. They don't do anything. Like they don't go out and do social work and charity and this and that. They are just being. The sun is just being, and just by being the sun, it's giving light to so many people. There's nothing that we have to do really. We just have to be and observe. And just by doing that, we can help so many people. Because we will speak our truth. Because we'll reflect our truth. So this channeling is for those people. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. It's for those people who really work on themselves. They have a painful past and painful childhood. And when you start moving into the fifth dimension, another magical thing happens with you. You start meeting more and more people or knowing about more and more people. Like I personally don't know these two people, the twins that I just spoke about. I don't know them at all. But they touched my heart. And their story is so moving. And how they both, the brothers, heal each other. They share each other's pain. Because at first, the one who knew about it, the one who had the memory, suffered. But he protected the other brother from that pain. Because usually pedophiles and narcissistic people, they don't abuse after a certain time and age. Once you learn to say no, they cannot abuse you. And this is what was shown in this documentary or this movie also. As soon as the child reaches, say, 14, 15, and he says no to the abuser, he was never abused after that. Never. So all it takes is a no, basically. And it happens with a lot of people who are in ascension. When they stop saying no to others, that no, I will not take your nonsense. I will not take your bad behavior. I'm done. No, you can't do this. People stop. They stop. So this word no is also very important. It's not always a negative or a dark word, no. We need to thank every single person who ran away or rejected us or discarded us, didn't understand us, didn't see us as who we are. We need to thank every single person because they have helped us more than anybody else. So absorb this energy update because here's what's coming ahead. This person, now an adult, has really found love. They have started connecting with the source within. They have understood that love is not outside of them. True love is not outside. They stopped searching outside. They realized, not by theory, not by listening to someone or reading, but by practical experience, they started figuring it out that love is within me, it's inside of me. And they start feeling beautiful, wonderful. They can manifest money. They can manifest a good life. They can manifest their mission, the resources that are needed in the mission, very important actually. Or they just want to be like the sun, like the flower, like the moon, like the ocean. They just want to be. And whatever they need to just be, it's given to them. And the love, that's the thing they feel. And now they see, even in their three-dimensional reality, so as to say, they are connected with beautiful people who take care of them, who support them, who understand them. They don't question them all the time. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? They don't rule them out. And those people, all those narcissists, they can stay in their own happy world or unhappy world, whatever it is. They won't get, the ascensioner won't get affected by them anymore. Once you figure out what love is, the ascensioners will not get impacted by their energies because they have cut them out mentally first. Physically, okay. Hi, hello. Some people you can't really avoid, right? Even relationships like the exes come back. Some ex who was 10 years back in your life suddenly comes back, with whom you had a very intense, passionate relationship with. You felt like, yeah, you both loved each other. They come back. But now you look at them, they are not healthy. They don't eat good food. They can't wake up in the morning. They have bad habits. They look very old. Now, this is not to mock old people. This is to say that, youth is something, it's in your head. It's in your heart. Sometimes you meet a person who's in their 70s, they're much more youthful than a person who's in their 20s. It's amazingly insane and insanely amazing. That energy they have. Some people have grown old in their adulthood only. And they look like that. They look like they don't have any energy. They have way too many diseases. People are attracting all sorts of diseases which are not fatal. They don't look fatal, but they are like slow poison. Like blood pressure problems, like diabetes, heart issues, body pain, lack of energy. So many things they have attracted, which is like slow poison because it slows them down. They don't want to do anything. They just want to sit in front of the idiot box, keep watching things. And they don't even watch things that can improve them, because content, you always attract content as per your inside energy. What you watch is also food to your mind. What you eat is food for your body, and what you watch is content for the mind. So you will always attract low frequency, low dimensional content when you are in low energies, and they will also keep you stuck and in fearful energies. So the update, another point in the update is that this person is becoming independent, more likable, more lovable, because they are now connecting within themselves, the source of love. So outside also they are attracting same type of people who recognize them, who love them, who appreciate them, who are with them. It's no longer you have the label of husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father, whatever label you want to, they have the label. Sometimes you have the label, but underneath there is only slavery. Here, there may not be any label. No name is maybe given to the relationships you have. You can be a friend, you can be whatever, someone they like, but you've spent considerable amount of time with such people, and most importantly, they support you. They like your choices and they will never bring you down. You can have fights with them, you can argue with them, debate, do whatever, but they never take anything personally because they don't have an ego. Wherever there is ego, you say one word to egotistical person, they will hate you, they'll not talk to you, they'll cut you out, they'll start punishing you immediately. But the one who does not have an ego will act accordingly. They'll see, okay, this person, should I give him importance or not? Should I do this or not? Sometimes you'll be surprised that they are good with everyone, even the bad people, even the negative people of the society, they are nice to them. And they'll tell you, come on, everybody is good. There's no good and bad. They'll say those things to you. And you'll be like, interesting. How do they do it? So you will attract people who will inspire you, and they will also be inspired by you, because you also have some very gutsy emotions in you. You may also be a really amazing person who's doing a lot of great things. So together, we all evolve with each other. We take inspiration from others, we inspire others. And this is how evolution happens. So for your personal situation, you can check out the description box and you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com after you have figured out everything. I saw this really funny comment yesterday. Somebody actually replied to this. I had mentioned, if you need hand holding, then you can write to me or you can book yourself a session or a therapy. And someone had written, I need hand holding only from my baby. And I was like, oh God, this is crazy. So see, this is called being in waiting energies. This is called being obsessed. This is called being desperate for someone who doesn't even want to talk to you. Somebody who doesn't want to talk to you, is not even looking at you, hasn't replied to your messages in months, maybe years. You are yearning and pining for that person. You're not working on yourself. You're not at all working on yourself, just sitting there and, like being this desperate person who's just waiting, like one word. That's not you. That's the child who was neglected, who was ignored, who was just pleasing other people, doing their jobs, doing everything they were telling them. Sometimes, like I said, when getting abused sexually, getting molested. Today only I read in a news item, because I don't read the news, I don't watch the news, I don't even have a television in my house. So sometimes I just, I remove all those notifications also. It's not easy to do it. So I just get the filtered, like I think it's just coming through my own, as I said, we are a match to the information and content also that comes to us. So I saw this news article today somehow. It had mentioned about how a judge had given punishment to a father who had sexually abused, has raped two of his girl children, two of his girls, little girls. So the judge was very strict, because in many cases it's also the judge who's playing an important role. In many cases the judge are also just like the other people. They just have done a lot of studies. Because of that they reach to that position, and they make all those type of judgments which usually never serve the victims, never help the victims. But if you're lucky, I mean, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about those victims right now, not anybody specific. I don't want anyone to be in a system or in a situation, and I think ascensioners are pretty much like that. You don't have to actually go through these type of processes once you work on yourself internally. You know that God is judge and source is my best judge. They know what, I have to do and what I don't have to do. So sometimes we have really good people in the legal system also. And I follow a couple of them. They have their own Instagram and they also share online content. So this judge basically said that, rape or sexual abuse, molestation, assault can actually snatch away a child's personality. It takes a lot of difficulty for the person to get out of that and form or go back to their own personality. So this is such a horrible crime, and especially when this crime is committed by someone who's very close and near to you. If neglecting can cause so much harm on the child's personality and overall life, imagine what this type of thing can do. So I really like that article. I think I've also shared it online on my community section. You can check it out. I did not share it for the news. I shared because of what the judge had mentioned or the judge had said about this case. It was wonderful and beautiful. So as per the update, this adult is experiencing very positive, very uplifting energies. They are experiencing true love, and I'm very, very happy for those people. Congratulations. If you feel that no, I have to do a lot of inner work, I have to grow a lot, it's all right. I'm just sharing the update. Even if you feel 10% of it, it will eventually grow. It will keep on growing. And the beginning is marked by your independence, by letting go of people, situations, things that don't serve you anymore. So yeah, you can book yourself therapy and personal session, and you can also join the Patreon membership, which gives one Zoom class every month. And all those people who are on Patreon, if you're listening to this, today is 27th or 28th of July. So hopefully we'll have this class on 31st. Keep yourself free. If you are in different countries, see, this is why I'm saying we need more people, because if we have just 4, 5, 6 people, it doesn't solve the purpose. Some of you may be speaking Hindi, some of you may be speaking only English. So how do I conduct a group class with just 4, 5, 6, 7 people? So more and more people should join this if you are interested in studying together with other people, and you must. I intend to be there for those people. And you can get my book In the Name of Love, which is based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate, a very high vibrational, high frequency book, which was obviously written via mystical intervention. It was all obviously done by the masters. I have no credit to take in this. I was just the medium. So the person who has gone through a lot in life, who has struggled, taken care of many people, even when they were a child, you are this very intuitive person now, very mature, very understanding, very kind person. You are very much in connection. How do I know, or how do you know? You feel very connected to nature, you feel very connected to plants, animals, you feel very peaceful in yourself. You don't need other people to make you happy. You're really happy, you're really enjoying your life in many ways. So keep on doing this inner work. Even if you feel, as I said, 10%, 20% of it, there's a lot of things you can do, and you have a practical course now. Practically, if you can experience 10-20% also of this beautiful, pure, unconditional energy, you know you can do more and more in this. So thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out. I'll see you soon in another one. Jai Shri Ram.